Hey, how are you? Welcome back to me in my living room. I touched on this a little bit in the last video that I posted, but I have a lot of really fun sewing stuff coming up in the next couple of months that I'm excited for. Some plans, some things I want to make, some things I want to do, and I'm kind of getting started with that today. This video is going to be kind of in-depth of me showing, designing, creating a little two-piece outfit. I feel like I've learned a lot from the last couple times that I've been making these tiered skirt projects, and I just want to make a really good one. I want to make a really cute little ruffle skirt. Then I'm also wanting to make a top that goes with it, so I can get like the feeling of wearing a dress when I have them both together, but then I can also use the skirt on its own because I definitely need more bottoms for my outfits. I'm going to be recreating a shirt that I made a couple months ago, which was using the Lila ruffle top. I thought this was a really nice first pattern to get into making shirts. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend this pattern, and I will link it down below. The last Lila ruffle top that I made was an upcycle project where I was upcycling this flannel shirt that I had thrifted, and I found it a really approachable like shirt design. Just because of limitations on fabric, I did have to make a couple tweaks and changes to the design, and I just wanted to make another one and do it a little bit more true to the pattern. But that's kind of my plan and my vision for this outfit. I think it's going to be really cute. Like, these are all things that I've in some way or another made before, done a good job with them. This is the fabric that I picked out for this outfit, and it is also me and Trevor's anniversary coming up next week, so I'm probably going to wear this when we go out for that. So maybe a bit of a vlog-y moment at the end of out in the city with my cute new dress that I made for myself. Just a bit of fabric cutting math before we can start getting into the fun stuff. So what you doing? This is real, this is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. So I try to, as much as I can, really think about like how I'm going to lay out and cut all of the pieces from my fabric before I get into it. Especially when you have fabric that's nice and that you're really excited to use. Like, I just get worried about wasting it, you know. I actually did a little bit of project planning for this skirt yesterday, where I was just kind of trying to see like what size I want all the different panels to be. So I'm gonna copy some of that information into my plan here. So I'm just making this document that is the same size as the fabric that I have. It looks very silly in this window. I feel like there is so much truth to when people say that only 5% of sewing is actually sewing, and a lot of it is just doing math. All right, so now I have equally divided this into 5 parts so I can see how much space is taking up the 5 yards. I have like a little page in my sketchbook that I've been using for a lot of this stuff where I kind of like draft out my pattern pieces. I'm a very visually minded person, and so sometimes like even if I technically know the math that I need to be doing, it's just hard for me to really like put it together in my head unless I draw a little drawing. So I'm trying to like make that more accurate, more efficient by doing it this way, and we'll see if that ends up actually being helpful or not. So that is that. I spent a lot of time working on this little grid trying to figure out the best way to use this 5 yards that I have to make the skirt and the shirt for what I want. As always, it takes more fabric than you think it does to make something. I was kind of thinking in my head that 5 yards was going to be plenty, but it's looking like I'm probably going to end up using most of this for this. I think now that I have this done, next thing is going to be starting to cut into the fabric, lay things out, and get into assembly. So Good morning again. Yeah, I just got back from running some errands. I've had a nice little morning today. I'm working on a crochet project at the moment from an independent crochet artist on Etsy. It's a lot more absent-minded for me than sewing is, so I feel like they both kind of satisfy a different part of my creative brain. But I also went to the library this morning and picked up a few different sewing related books. I've been really having fun with making my own designs for my clothing, and I just kind of want to be able to make them into something that can also be printed if I want to remake something or if I want to share it. So I picked up a couple books on that, and I'm really excited to start working on making like digital patterns of some of the designs I've been making. But that was my morning today. I'm gonna get into cutting for the fabric now, which should be pretty straightforward now that I have the pattern all laid out. And yeah, that's my focus for this morning. So thanks, bye. Hey, good morning. I ended up taking a little bit of a break from filming yesterday just because it was so gloomy, and the way that my apartment is, like, I can't really film once the sun goes down, which is a bummer. But today the sun's out. It is Thursday, and I'm hoping to have the dress done by this weekend. Trevor and I are doing some celebration for our anniversary. I think hopefully we're going to go to the Botanic Gardens. And I'd just really like to have this dress done so that I can wear it when we go out. Since I'm working tomorrow, I'm going to try to finish the dress today, hopefully. I feel like I can probably do it. Yesterday, most of what I got finished was cutting up all of the fabric, so all of the panels are cut out and labeled and ready to be sewn together. I am like making notes as I'm going through also, because I'm hoping to kind of like streamline the process for making more of these kinds of skirts in the future. So that's been the only thing slowing me down a little bit. I've been kind of like noting my process and like keeping track of a lot of numbers and things as I've been going through it. But today's mostly just gonna be sewing. The only sewing that I did yesterday, I did get out my machine for a little bit because I wanted to make a matching scrunchie for the outfit that I'm working on. And it turned out really nicely, but I think I just made it a little bit too big. So I'm going to I'm opening this back up right now just so I can tighten the elastic in it a little bit. I wear scrunchies like all the time, so I'm like super excited that I can make my own now. But yeah, I'm hoping to film most of the rest of this video today and have something cute that I made to wear this weekend. So So I have all of my panels here labeled, and then this one here is the waistband fabric. I'm not doing that yet. So each of these is 2 pieces of fabric, meaning that I have like 2 different pieces that are going to be sewed together to make up the top panel. Same with the middle, same with the bottom. So each of them are going to have 2 seams that will mark the side of the skirt. But since I wanted to do it that way with the 2 seams, I'm just gonna go ahead and sew the 2 pieces together that make up the panels. So starting with the top one. Just flipping this whole thing back around the other way. So now what I'm going to get into is just adding hems to everything, and it's going to be a little bit time consuming, definitely not that fun, but just super important to the quality. And I'm going to have to do the top and the bottom, so it's going to take a minute, but I'm just going to start on that, and that's probably going to be the next couple hours of me working. So folding it once, folding it twice. So now I have this nice neat finish on all of them, so you can't see the edge of the fabric anymore, which is good. Even this is going to be concealed inside of the skirt, but this is just going to make everything so much neater. Now what I need to do is prepare to attach them to one another. So I'm going to start with the bottom panel and the middle panel. So I just need to do some hand sewing so that I can run a thread through the bottom panel, gather it, and then make it the right size to attach to this one. And then I'm just going to pin those together so I can start sewing them together. And the finished effect of that is always really nice and really cute. So I'm excited to see what these look like together. All right, can you see me? Can you see and hear me? So there's the first tier of the ruffle skirt. So this is gonna be the very bottom layer that's at the bottom of the skirt. So I've got my nice finished hem at the bottom here, but the inside is just beautiful. Here's what the little seam looks like on the outside, and then that's the inside part. And now I just have to do one more and then gather it one more time to attach it to the waistband, and then close up the sides too. So that's what's left for the skirt. It is 4:45, so sun's gonna be going down probably in a little bit here, so I might have to wrap up filming, but that's most of the exciting stuff, and hopefully being done tonight, so I'm ready to wear it on Saturday. Thanks. Bye.
good day to be a duck.
That color-coded town, they had one little no gray loud. Oh, it was a great offense and brought no compliments. Stranger to the town, she came and met a girl that very few would say is worth thinking of. Still she fell in love. I brought her flowers every day, and she loved them, she loved me, she'd never felt that way. They said, hey, those flowers, they are gray, they can't stay, no, well, we will let it slide. But read all your sides, we don't like gray.
These I can't smell it.
Now what I'm keeping
One day they saw her in a dress, a gift from me, it was gray and red, it stopped them in their tracks. Oh, they knew it matched, a revolution, there was show they found inside that color-coded town. Some happy sun and rage, so they marched on over to a place where I brought her flowers every day, and she
This
loved
is a
them,
better
she loved
viewpoint on the
me,
duck.
she never felt that way. They said, hey, let's take her to the grave. She can't stay, no, well, we done told her once, now she's done me cry.
Pretty.
We told you stay away from that crazy.
Hey, how are you? I'm just here to do the show and tell, final thoughts, reflections, that part of the video. This was my first time making like a full matching set to wear. It's nice that these can be worn all together as a really cute little set, but I can also wear them on their own. So I feel like they're gonna be versatile, and I really like these pieces just as they are. The top I've already worn a couple times to work. Quick overview of the project, I guess. Like I said, I've made mini skirts very similar to this before, so a lot of familiarity in making this. I just really like the pattern on it. I like the color. It's very light, so it's going to be something I'm getting a lot of wear out of this summer. I think it'll also be good for fall too. I was keeping a lot of notes and keeping track of numbers, fabric use, measurements, that kind of stuff while I was working through this one. And so that'll just make it a little bit easier for me to like come back and revisit pieces that I really liked. And so I'm excited about that, just kind of keeping records of my projects, my sewing pieces. So I'm definitely gonna be coming back, making a few more of these. I have kind of two things with this skirt that didn't maybe go quite to plan. I was really planning to add like these ruffle adornments to the skirt, and I don't know how it literally just got like lost in the process. I just forgot to add them in. Definitely like if I want to later, I can still go back in and add the extra ruffling decoration at the bottom. I can't really do it on the second tier unless I feel like seam ripping and just going back in and adding it back on. But we'll see if that ends up being worth it to do or not. I might even end up using the ruffle strips that I cut, but putting it on something that's a different fabric, so that way it has like a bit of contrast. So they won't go to waste, I'll find something to use them for. Another thing with the skirt is I feel like I'm still trying to figure out my favorite like ideal way to add an elastic waistband into things. What I did for this one was I just cut like the waistband as its own strip of fabric, rolled the elastic inside of it, and then attached the waistband fabric to like the top panel of the skirt. And it's pretty fine. I just know that there's so many different ways that people add elastic to waistbands, and I watched a couple of videos of people doing it different ways, and I just feel like I want to try some more because this was a little awkward. I feel like I could maybe get this down to something a little bit more practical. This top is awesome. I've made one of these before, like I mentioned. This is the Lila Ruffle tie top from Eda Sewing Patterns on Etsy, and it turned out really well. I love the shape of this. I'm definitely going to get a lot of wear out of it for work. Wearing these as a matching set was really fun. I love the Brooklyn Botanic Garden, so it was nice to be able to go and feel cute and have something that I was wearing. I did get a compliment from a stranger, which I always love. The last thing that I made for this was, you know, even though it was like the least time consuming thing, it might be the thing I'm most excited about, which is my little matching scrunchie for this. I just wear scrunchies all the time, so I'm just super excited by the idea that I can make my own now. It feels like something has opened up to me. I feel like this is probably going to be like one of my go-to like scrap fabric projects now too. Like once I finish a project, if I have a little bit left over, I can just make a scrunchie that matches the outfit. So that's going to be really fun. These are like so super cute. And I started working on some more as well. I actually have this one that I made the other day. It's a little crochet scrunchie with some yarn that I had left over from this like tulip top that I made. Like this is probably my favorite scrunchie that I have now, and I made it myself. I started working on another crochet scrunchie this morning with like some more delicate yarn, and I think it's gonna be really nice, so I'll show you that when it's done. But this was a fun project. I felt like really comfortable, confident with everything that I was working on. I know that I had to skip over a little bit of the filming just because I was running short on time, you know, as is often the case. But I'm glad I got everything finished in time to wear it out. I had a really nice day at the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens. We got rained on a lot, but it was still just a beautiful day celebrating our little anniversary. And actually, for an anniversary present, Trevor just got me my serger. So I'm super excited to start getting into learning that, and I think it's really going to change my whole process for making pieces and just make everything feel even easier and more accessible. And if you have any advice for getting into the serger, learning how to use it as a beginner, I'd love to see links, suggestions. Thanks so much for hanging out though. Thanks for coming to the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens with me, hanging out as I sew, as always. If you made it this far in the video, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know you're here. It means the world to me. And I'll see you soon. So, bye.